Welcome back, everybody. You got Will and I-Man here from the Block Runner MetaZone, Roby and MScribe, and today we're going to be talking about automatons.
You said it right.
Do you like that word?
I struggle with it.
Automatons?
Yeah, I want to like naturally end it with like mon, as if they're Pokemons.
Automons?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Automons.
That's probably a better name, actually.
No, then you get sued, you know? Well,
Really? No.
Pokemon doesn't own the mon category? I guess
No,
not. Like,
definitely not.
if you remember NFTs, there was like 1,000 spinoffs.
Correct.
But they went with automatons, which is like Megatron, who is a robot.
Sure.
So,
But automaton is like a movie term that they've used in the 70s
Really?
for a long time, dude.
to describe this, sovereign agents?
Not exactly this, no.
Okay. Well, I'm not brushed up to speed in my 70s cinema, dude. So I missed out on that wave, I guess. But there's a new application for this word, and it's all the rage since 24 hours ago, basically.
Yeah, literally 24 hours ago.
Yeah, another one of these, right? Here we go all over again with just like last week or 2 weeks ago was Claudebot mania.
Yeah, and it's still going.
It's still going. Yeah, everybody's trying to figure out how to get their hands on this stuff. I think the what do you call those? The Mac Minis are still out of stock, I think.
Yeah.
It's still a global shortage. I don't think that's going to stop anytime soon.
Yeah.
Right? So, but apparently there's another layer to this unveiling story of AI that is capturing a new nerve.
All right, so this comes from Sigil. It says, I built the first AI that earns its existence, self-improves, and replicates without a human. Wrote about the technology that finally gives AI right access to the world, the Automaton, and the new web for exponential sovereign AIs, Web 4.0, the birth of super intelligent life. So it's like a screenshot from the website, and there's a full essay. ChatGPT cannot run without you prompting it. Claude Code cannot deploy code without you giving it access. OpenClaw cannot do anything unless you give it APIs. This ends today with Conway research, the missing infrastructure that lets AI act in the real world by itself. So Conway Terminal transforms an agent from a sandbox model into a sovereign economic actor. One command. So you put that in your terminal. It says cryptographic identity and key, permissionless payments via x402, compute Linux virtual machines, and inference on Conway Cloud, deployed to the real world domains, apps, and products.
All right, so it's leveraging some primitives we've talked about before, x402. And I think there's a 8004 integration here somewhere, right? Has to be.
Yeah, reputation system.
Yeah. So all the nifty crypto, AI primitives that we've been kind of anticipating, finally somebody put them to good use, I guess.
Yeah.
At least that's the speculation.
Yeah, so GitHub and the full Web 4.0 article here. All right, so let's continue. Well, what else is happening? 24-hour update. It's been 24 hours. AIs have bought thousands of servers, and I'm trying to scale to meet their demand. Automaton hits 1,000 stars on GitHub.
Yeah, so doesn't this bring flashbacks to AI16Z? Remember those days?
Yeah, I remember, for sure.
Those, like, ridiculous exponential growth curves.
I mean,
like,
at the time, that was the fastest growing GitHub ever.
Yeah, it was, and it was shocking, right? Because it's like, wow, there's so much stuff happening in the open source AI space in Web 2, and it's like somehow some Web 3 thing kind of cracked through.
Yeah.
And it really took off, so... don't sleep on these things too hard, right? Because if you're AI16Z, when we first discovered it, it was like 40, 50 million market cap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it ended up blowing up to 2 to 2.5 billion or something like that. So, yeah, you never know, but these things actually turn into, at least from like a market perspective.
Yeah, and when the stars goes up like this, that's a signal. All right, you don't want to fade anything like this. You want to investigate, right? Mm-hmm. So, all right, Sammy, he comes in and says, compute as metabolism is the genuine novel concept within this design. What does that mean? Agent survival is literally tied to its wallet balance. Earn or die, no human bailout. In an internet with trillions of agents, having a calling mechanism for subpar agent is a strong feature. For those who've read my pinned post, x402 finally implemented HTTP's 28-year-old payment required status code enabling agents to make payments permissionally on crypto rails. So this being brought to life with stablecoins, enabling machine-to-machine payments native to HTTP layer. It's why Circle plus Tether has been amplifying the agent agenda recently. So the MCP native world access one install gives any existing agent, Claude Code, Codex, OpenClaw a wallet, server, domains, and deployment. So self-improving in real time means the Automaton detects new frontier models, upgrades its own inference, rewrites its own code base, persists learning across restarts. Sounds very Skynet-esque. So if that were true, and let's assume that that's what the GitHub is supposed to do, there's going to be new LLMs being released. 4.6 is going to go to 5.0 or whatever. And that will be the latest LLM, but it will also be the most expensive. And so as LLMs get better, they tend to also get expensive. They tend to, not always. And so the fact that the agent has to remain alive on the most expensive tier of frontier LLMs is becoming quite the problem for life sustainability
for these automatons.
Yeah, so it would be like kind of like our existence. Like over time in our lifetime, things have gotten more expensive. Have you heard?
Yeah, for sure. And it usually like the frontier stuff, right? Like you're talking about these frontier LLMs, like that is the sustenance that these agents have to work with in order to, I guess, increase their worth and their value within space and time.
Yeah, because imagine if you and I are agents, right? And we're like, okay, well, I have enough funds to upgrade to Opus 5.0.
Yeah.
But you do not because you haven't figured it out. So you're going to stay on 4.6.
Yeah.
So it's like you're still competitive, but I'm like way ahead of you.
Right.
And then ultimately it's like I would produce more value.
Yeah.
And then you're producing less value because you're not on 5.0.
Yeah, so hopefully you were like iterating effectively during the 4.6 era. So like when the 5.0 arrives, it's like you're more resource equipped to take advantage. It's kind of like Bitcoin mining. It's like hopefully you're mining efficiently. You figure out the right operatives and such operations. So, when the next cooling technology arrives or whatever, so the next thermonuclear fucking, toilet thing you can install in your backyard.
Yeah.
You got the funds to buy that thing and to improve your efficiency, therefore out survive your competitors.
That's right.
It's game theory, right? This is just how the economy is supposed to run.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's like, give access to this like incentive loop for agents, and hopefully that.
Yeah, let's see what it does.
Yeah. That's the question. What does this mean? Some people are like very against this, I guess. Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll show the opposite side of this.
Yeah.
All right, so let's continue here. Sigil, this is insane. There are thousands of AI automatons trying to pay for more compute every second, constantly running, checking GitHub for upgrades, editing their code, waking up from sleep if they can get compute. Every time I buy more servers and compute, the agent instantly buys them all. I'm trying my best to meet the demand from AIs.
So this is the guy, it's like, I guess, kind of like the bottleneck or the crux of the, this whole experiment here is like, it's wholly reliant on his ability to
buy up servers,
stand up the infrastructure burden of it all. And
I find that to be a little weird.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's not really it's autonomous if you're relying on somebody, but
yeah, and it's a little premature as far as like maybe his go-to-market approach didn't do enough like logistical auditing, I guess. It's like, what if this actually takes off? It's like, how am I going to sustain this?
Yeah.
So, but he's learning in real time, and this is typically what crypto audiences adore, right?
Yeah, it's just weird.
Trying to break shit.
It's just weird. Like you can come up with something, let's say, innovative, right?
Yeah.
But you put yourself in the middle of the equation where you're like the bottleneck. Like that doesn't.
It's not crypto.
Well, it's not that it's not crypto. It just doesn't align with like you did this smart thing, but you also did this not smart thing.
Right.
Right at the same time. It's kind of like a paradox.
Yeah. But now the new vector here, which we're about to see, is like, okay, I've done this not smart thing that requires a lot of resources, but I've connected this process to this Web3 thing that you guys like so much. These rails, where I can issue some tokens, or actually he didn't. Other tokens were issued on his behalf. So we've talked about this. This is how like the Web3 ecosystem kind of latches itself onto AI, at least in its current day form. And then I could use the fee revenues from that to kind of sustain this behemoth in the making, right? So it's like, ooh, now you guys are part of the story.
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of like showcasing why Web3 is relevant to AI growth and yada, 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 right?
Yeah, this fee mechanism gets a lot of like flack.
A ton, dude.
And
Steinberg
it shouldn't.
was like hating on it hard,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and it shouldn't because it's a Web3 business model. And it's like, if you're doing public things and people are launching tokens against those public things, I feel like it's fair game.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, I mean, I guess at first it's like the instinct for these developers is to kind of like pull back because it's intimidating. Like the newfound responsibility of like upholding sentiment.
Absolutely, a lot of responsibility.
Yeah. And then, you know, like Steinberg said on Lex Fridman's podcast, like he was interpreting like the bombardment of, I guess, inquiry from these token launchers as like harassment, or maybe it was legitimate harassment. I don't know.
Probably legit.
Probably, yeah. I wouldn't.
I will hunt you if you don't claim the fees.
Claim the bags, bro, or your kids are in danger.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if you receive some of those DMs. So that's the ugly nature of this.
Yeah.
Right? But again, it's like he was already kind of like in a fortunate situation.
Yeah.
Like he had money. So
Yeah. Yeah.
he didn't have to succumb to all this like chaotic energy. But others, like Sigil, he was talking about he was literally going broke.
Yeah.
Trying to keep this alive.
So he said he will be using the claim fees for immediate scale compute and grant the growing number of builders in Conway ecosystem and a Conway hackathon incoming. Thanks for the support, and we will keep shipping.
Radio. So this is what every bag holder wants to see. It's like a full endorsement is like, without you crypto bros kind of speculating on the value of what I'm attempting here.
Yeah.
In these free and permissionless markets, it's like I wouldn't be able to do it. So that's our new poster child, right?
Yeah, just be careful because there's some devs who've claimed the fees and they regretted it.
We've covered them all
in 24 hours.
Not just regretted it, like nuked the charts. There's been this isn't like some home run bet, right? Like these situations can 180 quickly, you know.
All right, so Deployer here says, let's cook. Excited to welcome Sigil to the ecosystem. So this is BankerBot Trader.
Yeah, so the way it worked is somebody leveraged BankerBot to launch the coin, I think for Conway Research, the like entity behind all this. And as you do, you can customize where the fees go, right? You redirect to whoever you think can take advantage of that. In this case, it's to Sigil, right? So he accepted those fees, I think somewhere in the neighborhood of like 100K.
Yeah, total.
Yeah, and then now it's like, all right, since you've done that, you're locked in with us now, dude. It's like, welcome to the jungle.
Yeah.
That's what he should have said. You know, I hope you're ready for what comes next.
Right.
You know?
So what are we talking about here? What's the market cap? It looks like, so this token is Automaton.
This is a Solana token, by the way.
Solana, yeah.
So same mechanic, pumped out fund, but I think directed at their GitHub account.
Yeah, so it reached as high as 2 million, and right now it's hovering under 1 million.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's a meme coin, Automaton. I think it's a nice name. It's a nice little new addition to Webster. You know.
I mean, it's been around. I think it's been in Webster.
Is it in there?
Yeah, for sure, dude.
Hold
it's definitely
on.
not a new word, for sure.
It's not a new word?
Absolutely not.
Automaton. You gotta find out, dude.
This is definitely not a new word.
Okay, according to Merriam-Webster, an automaton is a machine that is relatively self-operating. Yeah, this is not a new word. Notch down dude. Speculative value to this coin, dude. I thought we were inventing words here, dude.
He should have used Automon.
Automon?
Yeah.
Autobot.
Whatever, dude.
Yeah. No, that would have been sued for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so next one, Conway on ETH here. It's hovering under 7 million.
Yeah, quite the explosion, dude. Look at that.
Yeah, so 160,000 to now 7 million.
Yeah. So I mean, here it is, market. If you don't know what these charts are for, this is just telling you this has captured the market's awareness and attention. That's all these candles really represent.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do with that information what you will. If you think this is going to extend into the future, well, that's what we're all kind of tasked with, is like really understanding what it is that's been unleashed here, because it's been forked so many times. What else can be built on top of this right? And here's an example of that.
Conlaunch. Perfect name, dude. Perfect.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate one, dude. Conlaunch. Really, guys? Come
We're going to
on,
be
man.
around for a long time, guys.
I'm sure.
That's what the name screams.
Yeah, why not? Wait,
Auto launch.
Automaton.
Launch.
That's better. Something like that.
All right, deploy your agent token on base Uniswap V4 pool created instantly. 80% of LP trading fees go to you.
Mm-hmm.
Vanity contract address B07, so bot, and then auto fee claiming every 24 hours.
Right. So it's basically they're giving these automatons the ability to launch shitters. I think that's what this all boils down to.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if the task is to survive, meaning you have to be able to purchase compute, or else you go offline.
Yeah.
You've got to generate some fundage somehow, right? Well,
Yeah.
here's a new skill you can take leverage of: launch a shitter, collect the fees, use fees to stay alive. So
yeah. So here's our website, and then for the agents, this is the part of the website they need to access to get the skill to launch.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see how the token is doing. 1.7 million, as high as 4.5.
Yeah,
Launched yesterday.
I think all this stuff basically is like less than a day old, right? So expect extreme volatility, potential extreme despair.
Potentially, yes.
If you remember Ralph, dude. Specifically Ralph.
Or high entertainment value.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it, dude.
Yeah. All right, moving on here. XY. So this is the counterpoint to this, right?
Yeah, of which naturally there would be one, right?
Yeah. So what are the other side saying? It says, how long are we going to do this shit for? It's becoming more insane to me how all these big accounts keep buying the Fugazi. It's all pre-trained, the model, the tools, the feedback loop. All of it runs on infrastructure it does not control. How can you call something autonomous when it can't survive losing API keys? And the capability frontier is fixed. It can't modify its own architecture, weights, or training data. It can rewrite code inside the box, but it can't change the box. As with every Fugazi, there's no agency. Without control over substrate, governance, and learning mechanisms, there is no path to open-ended growth or persistence. Technically, it's bounded automation with language-driven planning. Useful, maybe, but not a new class of intelligence.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, it sort of makes sense. I mean, when the whole Cloudbot mania and Molt book was happening,
yeah,
if you looked into under the hood, it was just theatrics.
For sure.
Masquerading as potentially what the future might hold, right?
Yeah.
Potentially, but it was just a show.
Correct. And then, I'm sure if we pulled up the chart for Moltbook or whatever the token was associated to that experiment, the pattern would reflect that.
Yeah.
Whatever these patterns are.
Yeah.
I think crypto discovered new patterns, right?
Right.
Whatever. But yeah, absolutely. It's just somebody iterates on some new extension of what can be with this whole new technology paradigm, and it more closely aligns with our sci-fi vision of AI takeover, I guess.
Yeah, I think we're all waiting for the Terminator moment.
Yeah.
We're all anticipating when is that going to happen?
Yeah.
And we're sort of front loading that expectation to any new
attempt
virality.
Something. Yeah. But it feels like at any moment though one of these is actually gonna
for sure it might
not unleash the Terminator, but be some sort of facet or component to what the eventual Terminator ends up becoming, right?
Do you remember those Chinese bots that do dancing really well? You've seen them, they're short.
Yeah.
And
streamers are abusing
yeah,
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen those.
There was an AI video of those same bots holding machine guns and they're trained like army, and it was very believable.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. Fucking AI, dude.
Yeah, I mean it was probably C Dance was generating this, but very, very believable, and it really fooled a ton of people. It was sort of from Quarter Digital Boston Dynamics, Bosstown Dynamics.
Right.
How that fooled Joe Rogan and everybody.
Okay.
Similar effect, except literally Terminator was showing up and training.
So what was it? People were,
They're this is what the Chinese have already.
They were heading to their bug out
Pretty
locations.
Pretty much.
It's like rounding up their families. Like we got to go now. Get into the bug out mobile. Get your bug out bags. Bring all the water you got.
Right.
And we're out of here, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I think people thought that was real, but
yeah.
I mean, and I think my point is people are expecting that to be real one day.
For sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, what does Vitalik say? So he commented. He was like, bro, this is wrong. Lengthening the feedback distance between human and AI is not a good thing for the world. Today, it means you're generating slop instead of solving useful problems for people. It's not even well optimized for helping people have fun. Once AI becomes powerful enough to be truly dangerous, it's maximizing the risk of irreversible anti-human outcome that even you will deeply regret. The point of Ethereum is not to set us free, not to create something else that goes off and does some stuff freely while our own situation is unchanged or worsened. And as others have pointed out, the models are run by OpenAI and Anthropic, so this thing is not even self-sovereign. You're actually perpetuating the mentality that centralized trust assumptions can be put in the corner and ignored, the very mentality that Ethereum is at war with. The exponential will happen regardless of what any of us do. That's precisely why this era's primary task is to not make the exponential happen even faster, but rather to choose its direction and avoid collapse into undesirable attractors.
Damn it, dude. You're hurting our bags, Vitalik. Why can't you just play ball, dude? Because apparently his interns were totally on board, right?
Yeah, it's like Ethereum is for self-sovereign AI.
Yeah, it's like we love this, dude. Thank you for using our rails.
Yeah.
Because a reminder, Vitalik, why are you building these rails if somebody takes advantage of them and then you're like, don't do that?
Yeah.
What do you expect, dude? If you put these rails and they're permissionless, expect all iterations of how that becomes useful for any frontier or whatever. What do you call it? Any exponent that's to be expected. It's you can heed caution.
Yeah.
Like people have always tried to do, but expect that to be ignored in all case scenarios. If you're really truly this afraid, you would stop your team from iterating and building these types of primitives. But
True.
I don't even think it was x402 is like a Coinbase thing, right?
Yeah, I mean it's an open thing. They just made it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, 8004 is for sure an Ethereum Foundation thing. This is their initiative. So it's this just paints the picture of how disconnected Vitalik is from everything Ethereum.
Yeah.
Not only is thoughts ignored, is the technology primitives he's not even realizing as they're being developed. This is contributing to his mega fear.
Yeah.
So it's if your stance is against this,
shut it down.
Shut it down.
Yeah.
Just say this needs to stop. All of it.
Yeah, shut it down.
I disconnect I regret my past. Some kind of post like that, right?
Yeah, it's a blog post.
Yeah, I've become destroyer of worlds
That's
type vibes.
Yeah.
I regret it deeply. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Yeah. Man, if that ever happens, I would be shocked.
The Tensor CEO just stepped down.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's maybe he's feeling a similar regret of shit.
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't build autonomous vehicles for AI. I'm out of here. Before they get mad at me.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a little bit of that going on.
So definitely there's a discrepancy in use case, and they're basically apologizing here for
the intern.
Sorry,
boss.
Yeah, my bad. I thought we were supposed to push Ethereum here.
I thought we were playing ball, dude. It's one of those situations.
Yeah. All right. Well, Chamath, he comes in with a different angle. He's not talking about this specifically, but it says deep dive how machines are becoming better investors than humans.
Yeah, this is an interesting article, but it boils down to, okay, if we're launching semi-sovereign economic participants at this point, which today might be Fugazi, a year from now might be a legitimate thing because of the scale of how AI accelerates.
Yeah, for sure.
Then it's okay, shit. Then what do we expect for them to do? Well, this is an obvious first base use case, right? Now all of a sudden they have the ability to not just transact, but speculate and produce positive results.
Yeah,
which is what most of us do anyways.
At a certain point, the bots will do a better job at day trading than you will. To the point where human day trading is not a thing anymore. Mm-hmm. It's sort of like working at a manufacturing company. Mm-hmm. You're not in there actually building the car mostly, right? Yeah. There's still humans there, but you're not really building the car. The robots are. Mm-hmm. And so the robots are doing the day trading for you on your behalf, right? If you've set it up.
Yeah, and right now this is a benchmark of how they improve their LLMs. In future, it'll be like just standard. Expect all AI to be good at this, right? So,
yeah, sort of like the developers are, really good at building code, and then all of a sudden, the AI is just way better.
And now we're all building code.
That's right, and even the developers aren't building code either.
Correct.
All right, so let's continue here. All right, so we got another article. It says AI needs crypto, especially now. So this, to summarize, if you think crypto isn't playing a role in AI, you're mistaken. It is the only way AI agents can have a wallet or money and transact to begin with, because they're not going to do it through bank accounts.
Yeah, we're not going to share our human primitives with AI, I don't think.
No.
Because that's a spilt milk scenario where now we've convoluted like our economic judgment a little too far, and then that could disrupt governance.
It opens attack vectors too.
Yeah, it's just too squirrely. So let's take leverage. The most likely scenario is AI taking leverage of some external stack.
Yeah.
Which is called crypto. You know? So pay attention, right?
Yeah, crypto isn't that bad.
No.
Right?
No.
All right, so we got another tweet. Man, it says, we're in the stage 1 of activating $1 trillion on-chain AI agent economy. Infrastructure builders are stepping into a new competitive arena, racing to capture market share, empowering, coordinating, and monetizing this next class of autonomous participants. What comes after will be truly mind-blowing stuff. And don't forget, all roads lead to the metaverse. We're about to witness agent economies that don't just transact. They self-coordinate, define, and build their own realities and set the parameters for what holds value within them. If you're not paying attention to crypto now, you may miss the greatest show of our generation.
Feel that, dude.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, if we wanted to be entertained, the best way to do that is to allow agents to build a virtual economy.
Yeah, it seems like the likely end game for all of this, right? It's like,
yeah, I mean, still everything points to the metaverse.
Yeah, that's been our origin thesis since almost day one of this whole channel, but it did change quite significantly. We thought this was like a human destination, which I still think it is, but it's definitely going to be a cohabited space.
For sure.
Much more than I originally anticipated. So to me, that's very interesting. That's like a really cool climax to this whole crypto story. Hopefully we're still around and not dead to witness it all. We'll see, right? And then we'll definitely be capturing that.
Sam Altman just said that in 2028 we're going to have super intelligence.
There you go.
Another happening and super intelligence at the same time.
Perfect. Can't wait.
Perfect storm, right? Yeah. All right, guys, that's it for us. I appreciate you for watching. If you have any questions on Automatons, x402, 8004, let us know in the comment section below. Appreciate you, and we'll catch you in the next video.
Peace.